Before we begin, if you enjoy powerful stories like this, take 1 second, like the video, drop a comment, and subscribe. Because today, you're about to experience a day where the ground itself turned against a city, where courage flew into danger with no guarantee of return, where a single ride in the dark helped ignite a revolution, and where one moment of violence shook an entire nation. Stay with me, because one of these stories might stay with you longer than you expect. Now, imagine this. You wake up early in the morning. Everything feels normal. The streets are quiet, the air is calm, the world feels predictable. And then, without warning, everything changes. April 18th is one of those days in history. The year is 1906, San Francisco, a growing city full of ambition. People are chasing opportunities, families are building lives, businesses are expanding. And then, at exactly 5:12 in the morning, the ground begins to move. At first, it feels like a small vibration, something easy to ignore. But within seconds, it becomes violent, uncontrollable. Buildings begin to shake, glass shatters like paper. People wake up in confusion, then fear, then panic, because this isn't stopping. The earthquake tears through the city with incredible force. Roads split apart, structures collapse, entire buildings crumble into dust. Imagine trying to run, but the ground beneath you won't stay still. Imagine hearing screams everywhere and not knowing where to go. But the worst was still coming. Fires began to break out. At first, just a few, then more and more. Soon, flames spread across the city, uncontrollably. Water lines were destroyed. Firefighters couldn't stop it. The fire burned for days, turning entire neighborhoods into ash. People watched everything they owned disappear. Homes, memories, a lifetime of effort, gone in just hours. Thousands of lives were lost. Hundreds of thousands were left without shelter. But in the middle of all this destruction, something powerful happened. People helped each other. Strangers became family. Food was shared. Shelter was offered. Support came from everywhere. And slowly, from the ashes, the city began to rebuild. Stronger, wiser, more prepared. And it leaves you thinking, if everything you knew was taken from you in a single day, would you have the strength to start again? Now, shift your mind to a completely different kind of battlefield. The year is 1942. The world is at war. Tension is everywhere. Uncertainty fills the air. And after a devastating attack months earlier, there's a need to respond. Not just physically, but psychologically. To send a message, to prove something. So a plan is created. A risky one, a bold one. Planes would take off from a place no one expected, carrying men who understood the risk. They knew something most people don't think about. There was a real chance they wouldn't come back. Think about that for a second. Getting into an aircraft, knowing that this mission could be your last, but still choosing to go. Because sometimes, courage isn't about certainty, it's about action in the face of fear. The mission begins. Planes take off, flying toward enemy territory, every second filled with tension, every mile increasing the risk. And then they strike. The mission reaches its target, not massive destruction, but something just as powerful, a message, a statement, a shift in morale. For one side, hope. For the other, shock. The realization that nowhere is completely safe. But the cost was real. Some didn't return. Some were captured. Some paid the ultimate price. And it reminds us that history isn't just about outcomes, but the bravery of those willing to take the risk. Now, go even further back, to a quiet night in 1775. No explosions, no armies clashing, just silence. But something was coming, something big, and someone needed to act. A warning had to be delivered, quickly, before it was too late. So a man gets on his horse and rides into the night, through darkness, through uncertainty, through danger, carrying a message that would change everything. Imagine riding through empty roads, not knowing what might happen next, not knowing if you'll make it, but knowing you have to try, because others are depending on you. This ride wasn't just about speed alone. It was about urgency, responsibility, courage. And that message reached the people who needed to hear it. And soon after, everything changed. A revolution began, a fight for independence, for independence, for identity, for freedom. And it all connects back to a single night, a single ride, a single decision to act. And it makes you think, how many moments in history depend on just one person choosing to step forward? Now, come back to modern times. April 18th, 1995. A normal morning. People are heading to work. Parents are dropping off their children. A building stands in the center of a busy city. Nothing feels unusual. Nothing feels wrong. Until suddenly, an explosion. Massive, violent, unexpected. In seconds, everything changes. The blast tears through the building, destroying everything in its path. Lives are lost instantly. Families are shattered. The city is left in shock. People don't understand what just happened. How could something like this occur? Why would someone do this? The questions come quickly, but the answers take time. And in moments like this, fear spreads, uncertainty grows, but so does something else: humanity. Rescue teams rush in, without hesitation, without fear for their own safety. People search through debris, looking for survivors. Strangers hold on to each other, comforting one another. Because when tragedy hits, people don't just break, they come together. And even though the pain remains, so does the strength, the resilience, the determination to move forward. April 18th, a day where nature showed its power, a day where courage took flight into danger, a night where a warning helped shape a nation, and a day where tragedy tested the strength of humanity. History isn't just about remembering what happened, it's about understanding what it means. The choices people made, the courage they showed, the lessons they left behind. Because every day has moments that define us, moments that challenge us, moments that remind us how fragile and how powerful life really is. Before you go, which of these moments stayed with you the most? The city that rose from ashes? The mission of courage? The ride that sparked change? Or the tragedy that united people? Let me know in the comments. And if you want to know what happened every single day in history, subscribe.